How did you pick the first songs to release?
They're actually the first songs that we wrote. We wrote probably around 10 songs in Terry's basement, and we thought those were the most appealing. They might have the better chance of people liking them.
I also want to ask you where you're from, city and state, and where your parents work.
Akron, Ohio, and my father worked at Goodyear, retired from Goodyear. My mother was a homemaker.
Okay, thank you. What was it like in the 70s for the Bizarros to be a band releasing its own music?
That was pretty exciting. We had, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work too. We practiced quite a bit, spent a lot of time in the studio, doing this. We all had, of course, full-time jobs and working all day, and then we'd play all night. So sometimes 6, 7 nights a week we'd be practicing, but it was a real fun time in my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Also, too, in the 70s, you released a split album with the Rubber City Rebels. Can you tell us a little bit about your memories of playing with the Rubber City Rebels?
I remember it quite well. It was we did the split album, recorded right here in Akron at Mark Price's studio. Back then, 4-track, but they did a heck of a job for us. We played with the Rebels at the Crypt quite often. Back then, that was the place to play, and it was just a lot of fun. They were real good guys, still are. I keep in touch with them on the internet. They're now touring. Just got done with Europe, and now they're going to Japan again, and they're starting to pick back up, and we'd like to get into that same type of thing if we can.
Great, thank you. Oh, and where are you from, city and state, and also what did your parents do for an occupation?
Akron, Ohio. My dad worked at Firestone Tire and Rubber Company, and my mother worked at City Hospital right downtown Akron.
Thank you.
We had Perubu with the finalized solution, and the Dead Boys put a crack on the beat.
In the 70s, what was it like to be a band that was playing out, and did you tour at all?
Oh yeah, we played out quite a bit. We had a great time with it. Some of the places that we played was in Ohio, like Cincinnati. We went out to Pittsburgh, and of course the most exciting one was in New York at the Hurrah Club, which was quite an experience going there. Pulling into town at 4 in the morning and seeing more people around than you see around Akron around 5 in the afternoon was quite, what's all this about? So yeah, it was fun. Had a great time, and a good crowd was there, and that made it more enjoyable. Of course, we played locally, Kent, Cleveland. We played with Kurt Ubu in the Flats before the Flats was anything. It was before there was anything built up down there. We played every Monday night, and that was fun. And then we play clubs in Akron, and again, like my brother said, we were working full time, practicing a lot, and playing out on the weekends. So it was a lot of work, yeah, but it was a lot of fun.
As far as you personally, as a guitarist, who were your greatest musical influences?
I have so many, Jeff Beck, and then the earlier bands that like Nick talked about who we liked, Rory Gallagher, Roy Buchanan, Phil Kagi, just so many. So even, I could go on and on, but those were a lot of good influences for me.
Great. Where are you from, city and state, and what did your parents do for an occupation?
Akron, Ohio. My dad worked at, not Firestone, the Firestone, and my mom worked at Akron City Hospital.
Hey, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Terry, in the 70s and the late 70s, you had an album on Mercury Records. What was it like to have an album on a major record label?
Well, originally it was supposed to come out on Blank Records, which was like a subsidiary of Mercury, and they'd signed Pure Ubu and Suicide Commandos, and I believe we was the third band, but it felt great, but unfortunately they got rid of Blank Records, but they put us out on Mercury. So it felt good. It felt like I was, going to go somewhere. When we first got contract, they told us to get our passports ready, that we'd be going to Europe. And I was just looking for an excuse to quit my job too. So I quit right away. And then things got delayed on the album, and I ended up panhandling. Not really, but didn't go as fast as I would like it to. It came out and we got great reviews, Rolling Stone, Cream Magazine, on and on. Great reviews, and unfortunately the album didn't sell that well. But it was a great feeling to have it come out, and there's still people run into from here to California that know about it, So it was a real thrill, I wish I'd have got rich from it, but those are breaks.
Young girls that mock him, they don't take chances. Talk to the rich man who never answer.
Now, you're a long-term musician. You've played pretty solidly since the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. How do you feel about the Bizarros being back together?
I think it's the greatest thing that could have happened to me, I love this band. I love these guys. They're like family. They're my best friends. We make good music together, and we just gel together. It's the best band I've ever been in, and I hope it goes off.
Great. And where are you from, city and state, and what did your parents do for a living?
I was born here in Akron, Ohio. My parents came up here from Mississippi, believe it or not, to work in factories. My dad worked at B.F. Goodrich. My mother worked a short time at Goodyear, but when she had my brother, she decided just to be a homemaker and take care of the kids. So basically, the rubber factories is why I ended up here.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Bizarros recently released a CD called You Can't Fight Your Way Uptown. Can you tell me about the songs on that album and what's your favorites?
67 77 is one of my favorites. And they're all very good songs. I like all of them. I like playing them. It's fun. Big fun.
That's the way I define immortality. Sometimes it's hazy. It's like
I also understand that there's new Bizarros material, even newer than this new album. What about those songs? Can you tell me about some of those?
Well, we got like 6 or 7 new songs. Hopefully we'll get in the studio and record some of them. And I think they're better just because they're new. We always like the new songs better. Get tired of playing the old ones sometimes. But hopefully we'll be in the studio pretty soon and record the new songs. They're all very good songs, and people will clamor for these songs. They'll go insane when they hear them.
Where are you from, city and state, and where did your parents work?
I was born and raised in Akron, Ohio, and my father was a pimp. He worked at General Tire Rubber Company, and my mother worked at B.F. Goodrich. And they were both rubber workers, and back then, having the 2 incomes, it was like I was this upper, middle class kind of guy, and gave me a bunch of music lessons, which paid off maybe in the long run. I ain't made a lot of money at it yet, but I'm really glad that they had the money to give me all these music lessons and stuff. So it was fun. It was really good that they worked at the rubber factory. They paid pretty good back then.
Great, great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.